Oh, just let you know we're recording already, so say whatever you want.
Oh, fuck off. Well, when I invented the Trinidad Sour, I was really...
What the fuck?
Oh, man. Yo, all right, you guys ready to intro this shit or what?
Yeah, buddy, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Swiggavino brothers and Adam, Life in Quarantine Time. This episode, we have Giuseppe Javier Gonzalez on with us to talk about whatever he feels like talking about.
I have no idea. I'm going to let you guys answer.
Hey, let's do that over again. My wife interrupted us rudely.
Should have not said anything. Gotcha.
Bro, that was probably the best intro that the world has ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the fabulous Swiggavino brothers and Adam presenting Life in Quarantine Time. Bro, why are you... Jesus Christ.
No, that's because you had a break. I thought
no,
that
like...
was speak and do like I was being like Doc Severn. I'm sorry. Last one, I promise.
No, it's fine. No, no, it was good.
You got
it was good. It was
3,
all right.
2, 1. Adam, hit me with it. Give me the good stuff.
Und ja.
I didn't expect my decision to do this until now. Well, now I'm like, okay, this is basically like, I was like, I could be playing Call of Duty right now.
Oh, shut up. No, you couldn't.
Right,
Instead, you're having a much better time.
Actually, you want to know something? Boom, right there. Fixing my dope-ass gun and was going to play for the next 6 hours.
What's funny is you can play and do this at the same time.
It's true. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the fabulous Swiggavino brothers and Adam present Life in Quarantine Time. This week's guest, or this episode's guest, because there are no weeks anymore, Giuseppe Javier Gonzalez. Welcome. How are you doing? It's good to have you.
Woo!
Are we finally being serious?
Yeah. I'm gonna be so serious. I'm putting my my mask on so I can socially distance because I'm looking at the screen and I'm like an inch away from you.
Jesus Christ, you look like a terrorist.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get your microphone closer to your lips there, Poppy.
Look like a white boy trying to be a Mexican thug right now. That's what you look like. Basically, it looks like your entire time at fucking Herbs and Rye. That's what you were.
Who? Oh,
right.
Gene Samuel or you?
No,
You?
you.
God fucking damn it.
No, Adam. I mean, you look like a white guy.
A what?
A white guy. Like you look like an atypical bartender.
I don't think that I've ever looked like anything other than a white guy because that's what I am.
Hey,
No.
hey,
Sometimes you look, like a little bit more like I would think Viking-ish, like if anything, still another type of white guy, but a little bit. No, right? Now I'm failing. Okay.
definitely not Viking.
I was trying to make you look, and I fucked up.
No,
No,
he's
it's-
Irish.
I accept your apology.
All right.
Here's the thing. Last episode we had Josh Davis on, and it was pointed out how white I am. And in the first 2 minutes of this, it's being pointed out to me how white I am.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what.
Does it suck?
I don't need a reminder. Like I don't.
This is the last time we're having a person of color other than myself on the show, so we don't have to remind you of your whiteness. Is that what you're saying? Because you sound a little hurt.
This is where I enter philosophically, and I say basically like every time me and Gene enter a room and we're the only person of color, we are always immediately reminded every fucking day of our lives. So the fact that we're giving you the reminder, it's like, yo man, you just entered this room. You're the only white boy here. Just letting you know, like there are rules right now. Like when I enter a room and I see a bunch of white people, I'm like, yo, I know the rules. I know I'm gonna code switch. I know I'm not gonna use my my New York accent. I know that I'm not going to look at people in the eye. I'm going to say, yes, sir, no, sir. You now have entered our room. Your dick got bigger. Be grateful. Okay. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. You might have rhythm.
Wait. Did I just get some like instant Like cred? Is that what you're saying?
No. There's no credit.
Yeah, your credit is on credit, buddy.
My credit score is like 818, so that's pretty good, right?
Believe that for a second, but anyway.
You don't?
You should.
What would it be at?
Like a bartender with 818, just like you be my boss. Okay.
818. Yeah. Like who? Wait, time out. Who doesn't have
bad choices with their credit?
Whose credit score is not that? Everyone's is. Yeah, whatever. All right. So now that I'm the only white person in the room, should I say yes sir, no sir, or should I just say things like "What's up, motherfuckers"?
I'm curious to see if you guys
hello there, dudes. I don't know, like, what do I do?
I'm curious to see if you guys came here with any questions other than just me fucking breaking your balls.
Yeah, of course we did.
Of course we have questions.
Fucking stupid shit is that? So,
seriously, man. We have lots of questions.
What's your whole name?
You know, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that was awesome.
So Joey, let me ask you a real question.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Vegas thus far to relocate? You could have done. You still got the keys to the city in New York. You could have went down to Miami and made your name over again and then over again 4 times over. You could have went back to Puerto Rico. Why Vegas?
The real talk was like after Suffolk happened. It literally was a decision I made in like 3-4 days, where I was like, all right, but after Suffolk happened, I had just won some award.
What award was that? What was it?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't really. But anyway, I just won some award. I came back and I was like, all right, bet I got to get back to work. And then I had a business partner pull some shit. So that was at the point where I was just like, all right, man, I'm kind of tired of fighting this motherfucker. I need a moment to breathe, plan, reset, whatever the hell. I was talking to Neck, and to be honest with you, it was between 2 places. Actually 3 places.
Time out. So Giuseppe, I think Gene and I should, like, we get to guess what those 3 places are. Is that fair? Can we do that? All right.
Singapore.
What? Hold up.
Oh,
I might have told you guys.
That was
already.
good.
I talked to you.
You did well.
Show Joey, get the fuck out. Let us hold our show. Let us host.
Okay, my bad. Go
Singapore.
ahead. No.
Nashville.
Hell no.
Miami.
No. I hate Miami.
Then I don't think you really told us.
No. So hold on. So no.
And not because Miami is a good city. Let me preface that. I don't want Miami cats being like, yo, he hates Miami. It's like, no, I fucking love Miami. But every memory I have there is the same reason that every memory I have in New Orleans. I'm like, yo, man, I was not my best self there. I don't trust if I'm going to go hit the reset button, I'm not going to go somewhere where I do a lot of drugs, make really poor decisions involving women and money, and then think I'm going to be a fucking new person. Like, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Miami is way too cool.
So when Giuseppe shows up into New Orleans and he lives there now, everyone's like, oh, you live here now. We all have stories about you that you don't know forever.
I fuck the streets naked? Yeah, that really happened. And fucking I was like, yeah, like I don't want to do that.
All right, so the 2 places. I'm gonna say, 3 places. Shit, like I was guessing Singapore too, like Gene. So either London or Mexico City.
No.
Where was it?
Going a-hole?
Freaking like anybody that knows me like in real life knows I don't like large groups of people. Like I get real social anxiety. I don't like, if it's the 3 of us in a public place, half the time I'll find one of you guys. I'll be like, yo, just get these people away from me. Like, or like, I don't want to be, it sounds funny. I don't like making small talk with motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Vegas was one because I always love Vegas. Vegas always for me was like one of those places I was always on my best behavior. I was always around people that I always identified with, where I'm just like, all right, bet, like, you know what I mean? Middle class, hardworking bartenders who don't fucking believe in bullshit. Like, yo, we're out here for money, for our family. We don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I mean? I always vibe with that. The other city was San Diego, because it's like, my focus is on like good health, good food, sun, and I'm like, the things I never could fucking do in New York. Like, in my mind, I was just like, things I can't do in New York. You know what I mean? Be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Fucking be outside every day. You know, fucking. And probably it's actually the top two were Vegas and Portland. Because
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Oregon. Or I don't know if that was the question. What the hell? Freaking like Portland is in America. Like, I know people fucking say it's shit, but like when I look at it, you know, I see lots of small businesses. I see lots of fucking different creative ideas happening places. Fucking great coffee. It's like the Nike headquarters are there. So if you're a runner, I am. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, this shit is fucking beautiful. Like, I every time I go there, it's like a vacation. Like cats who want to go to like the Caribbean for vacation, I would want to go to Portland for like a week. Be like, yo, I'm gonna live this shit up. I'm gonna have some coffee. I'm gonna eat like some weird, but I mean, weird food made by a white person. Fucking lived in Asia, and it's gonna be delicious. You know, fucking like, but like I fucking love that city. Clubs, which are fucking like, you know, it was just like, it's so weird. And I fucking vibe off that. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of the things I miss about, like, you know, growing up in New York and seeing certain neighborhoods where it's just like, yo, man, like, you would go into different neighborhoods and you just see a lot of weird shit. A lot of people just taking chances, being creative, doing dope shit. And like,
is that because you're awkward?
I mean, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people were like, you can say some crazy shit, like, you know what I mean? Some weird shit. And like, you know, in Portland and other places, you know what I mean? Like, you know, people just be like, okay, that's cool. Like, you know, that's, or worse yet, be like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Someone did that a few months ago. Go to that place. I'm like, oh fuck, that's dope. And I'm also angry.
So you don't miss people riding your dick like they used to back in the day?
I don't really feel it. No, it's never been like that, man. Like, it's like,
fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, like maybe like, you know, when like being in New York.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there.
Everybody,
that shit's bullshit. I hung out with you one night, and some motherfuckers like, you know Giuseppe? Like, yeah, he's asshole over here. And then we're talking, and I didn't make a proper introduction, and then we pieced out, and you left. And homie goes, "What the fuck, bro? I always wanted to meet him, and I know he's your fucking friend." I'm like, well, you don't like people riding his dick.
Yeah, I don't like people hear me like that, bro. I don't like that weird shit, man. You know,
Gene, hold on, Gene.
It's like, yo, like weird, like especially like, you know, like younger bartenders. You know, like they're looking for like this life-saving advice, like, yo, how can you fucking help me do this, do that? And there's a part of me where I'm just like, yo, man, like, stop listening to motherfuckers. Just work hard, work with good people, be a good, you know what I mean? Like, there's no blueprint. And I kind of, and I let a lot of motherfuckers down when I tell them, like, yo, there's no, even when I talk about sobriety, you know what I mean? Just like, yo, how'd you do it? And I'm like, yo, there's like, I had to do like 20 different things, you know? And
I think most people are asking, you got to remember something. You have people, like, when you talk about your mentors in this bar game, you got 2 to 3 people that you say put you on and put that game on you. Certain cats like we have in Vegas, I think Adam will tell you, they never had that shit. Like, I hear they was like, when me and Adam were coming along, like the year or two prior, people out here trying to get it on their own because people were selfish. You know, when I would travel to New York and whatnot and all over, people were like, hey, where'd you learn that? You know, they wouldn't tell you shit. Like, hey, so
I think
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, so Gene, to your point, and Giuseppe, I don't know if you ever saw this or like what your experience was with what Gene's talking about, but people are a lot less selfish now in Las Vegas. And I think in my, like, what I saw, what I kind of gathered was people were selfish and didn't want to share because they also had no idea what they were talking about. And so they didn't want to seem and sound like you know, that they didn't actually know. Because I think there were a lot of people that would say, or it was deemed like they knew stuff.
Yeah.
When they kind of didn't.
I still see, you know, even now where I'm like, yo, man, like that's just suspect. Like, you know, like, come on. Like, you know, I can go like, I mean, like, you know, it's primarily pushed by bigger brands and whatnot, but sometimes I'll just see some that's not true or like whatever. You know, and then like everybody thinks I'm being like, you know, like provocative or like I'm stirring the pot because I'm just telling people like, yo, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not stirring the pot by telling you the truth. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, you all vermouth, like something as simple as like, yo, vermouth needs to be in a fucking fridge. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. No, like that, stop. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like creating like this fucking like, narrative that you think I need to buy. Or like, you know, what's another favorite? Like, you know, one thing cats like fucking breaking my balls on is like pumpkin spice. Like I give a shit about pumpkin spice. I'm just like, no, man. But you know, like every fucking year, there's that one reporter who needs to fucking write something about fall cocktails, and then all of a sudden, every bartender is writing fucking like right now. I'm looking at whipped coffee. You know, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like you just like
Yep.
you're trying to create a trend. I get it. Respect to your hustle, but like, yo, that shit is not. Or every year, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Sherry's making a comeback. I'm like, no, it's not, man. Like, yo, it's not. Like, it's been around for 2 great, but it's, you know, like, this is like, it's not going anywhere, but it's not like one, like, it didn't make a comeback. It's still here. And secondly, like, yo, ain't nobody gonna be drinking Sherry when there's tequila out there, man. Come on, like, let's stop that. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop creating that narrative.
I'm gonna open a bar that's all sherry and vermouth and fucking Amaros. That's it. Me and Rain.
It's served hot after you put it in a microwave.
Hot.
Port Margo is dope. Like, you know what I mean? That to me is a dope ass bar. And if there's like somewhere where there's like not really nerdy about shit, well, they can be nerdy, but like, you know, like not in a bad way. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you start fucking like hitting cats up, and I feel like I'm rambling now. It's just one of those things where just like people think I'm being provocative. I'm just like, yo, man, I've been doing this for 22 years. I don't have time to like really fucking
Right.
tell you like, yo, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? As for mentorship, you know what I mean? Like, I've worked for really great people, and they've definitely mentored me, but it's not like how you think mentorship works. Like, I think younger cats don't understand where it's like, you know what I mean? Like Julie Reiner didn't sit me down every day and be like, okay, this is the history of this. This is the history of that. You know what I mean? When you work with a mentor, it's basically a working relationship, and you know she's the alpha. You know what I mean? That's something, you do it. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, bet. And if she needs something, you know what I mean? You make sure, if you want real mentorship, I'm like, all right, bet. You find out who your boss is and make yourself indispensable to your boss. That will teach you a million things in this business that you don't fucking need to know. So like when I started off at Flatiron, like I had one shift. I had 2 shifts. I'm sorry. I had a service bar shift for private parties in the basement on Saturdays, if there was a private party booked that weekend. You know what I mean? Usually there was always one weekend where like, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not working Saturday night, which fucking fucked me because I had 2 kids. That was one. And I had Sundays where I worked by myself with no bar back because the Flatiron district in Manhattan's super slow.
Right.
And those were my 2 shifts. And I'm like, and it was the only job I had. And I knew if I got another job, like opportunity, I would shoot myself in the foot for opportunities. But I was also fucking, how old was I? What was this? 2006? What? I'm 43. You do the fucking 28, 29 years old. And literally I was fucking like, I was hungry. So I would just show up to work. And you know it is when you show up to a shift and be like, yo, who wants today off?
Right.
Don't text it. Don't call them.
Show up.
Just show up and be like, yo, I'm here. I would literally scheduled. I literally went. After by doing this for 2-3 months, Julie had to sit me down and be like, Joey, you're on overtime every week. You're not even on the fucking schedule. I'm like, come on, you got these lazy motherfuckers who want to work. You know what I mean?
I want this bread.
You know?
Hey, how's our bagel?
But like, you know, but also like, you know, like when your boss sees you do that, when your coworkers, you know, I work with really great bartenders too, man. Like, you know, working at work, and they were mentoring me, you know what I mean? So it's not like I was like, okay, I work for Julie Reiner, you know what I mean? Like I worked with Katie Stipe, I worked with Adam Ramsey, you know what I mean? Like these were like, you know, Tim Cooper and me worked together. So like I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. We're both trying to figure out this cocktail game back in 2005, 2006, and we're just talking to each other. And then Julie, of course, is not like, all right, like I have all the answers. She would see us do shit. It's like, yo, that's dope. Let's try that out. You know, that's basically how it. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of, and that's kind of like how every bar works. I think. Like it's like, all right, bet. Like whenever I open a space, I'm always just like, you know what? It's gonna be a shit show the first 3-4 days. We're gonna figure out the culture. We're gonna design. We're gonna try and think ahead as much as we can, and set up everything. But like, come Monday, like we'll work Friday, Saturday, but come Monday, we're gonna move everything. That didn't work. That needs to get fixed on the POS. That recipe is shit. That recipe is going off because nobody wants to make that drink on Friday, Saturday. That needs to get fixed. You know what I mean? And that's basically, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
You know, this is working. This is not, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like they like this, and it's just like, yo, you kind of work together with people like that. You know, it's like, so I don't know. Like I've been lucky enough to just like, yeah, if it wasn't for Julie, I wouldn't have a job. If it wasn't for Audrey, you know, if it wasn't for Sasha, I wouldn't have owned my first bar. And if it wasn't for Audrey, I probably wouldn't still be a bartender. You know what I mean? So each of them mentored me in things, not regarding the bar business, but life. You know what I'm saying?
What would you be doing right now if you weren't bartending?
I don't know, man.
It's a good question.
There's always a you want like one of the there are two professions I fucking love.
Yeah.
One I could do because I think I'd die of kidney failure is like, you know, being like a barista or coffee guy. I just I even kidding, bro.
Love coffee.
For me, my morning, like, you know, I've been sober 6 years, and part of my rituals in the morning is just like, yo, I open up my New York Times and I make my coffee. You know what I mean? And that to me is meditative. So it's like, yeah, that's like, I get, you know, and now I walk my dog, I go for my run. If I can do all those things in the morning and get all that shit done by 11 o'clock, hang out all day and fucking play video games all day, and I'll still think I killed it. I was super productive today. I made my coffee. It was delicious. I got to read the newspaper. That was dope. You know what I mean? My dog and me are fucking chilling. I got 6 mile run in. Fuck, like, go watch porn all day and fucking do, and you know what I mean, and freaking play video games. It's gonna be dope.
There it is. Hey, you said your sobriety. Is that a constant thing with you? Like you think about that every day you wake up, like maintaining your sobriety?
This is how I fucking tell young people that, because I get hit up, like, you know, the two things I get hit up the most about, the fucking Trinidad Sour, and yo, I'm having problems with alcohol. One, I don't really give a fuck about. The other one, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, you know, like, that's it. If you ever want me to, like, I'll do it with my friends. We're just like, yo, call me, hang out. I'm like, all right, cool. 3 weeks later, yo, you didn't call. It's like, yeah, man, you know, like, I'm just fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, I'm just, like, not in that state. But if you ever call me and are like, yo, I'm struggling with booze, 5 minutes later, I'm like, all right, that's what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's not act of benevolence. That's more like, that's not me being a nice guy. That's me being more like monitoring my sobriety, just helping people. Helps keep me sober. But that being said, like, you know, the first thing I tell people is just like, yo, like, you know, like, this is a disease. It's chronic. You know, it's never going away. You know what I mean? And you need to manage it. So, like, I go to AA meetings, like now weird AA meetings, Zoom meetings. We're just like, yo, like, this shit's weird. You know, I gotta use a fake name, so I don't want cats knowing my name. Like, you know, weird shit. Like, you know, when you go into the AA room, like, nobody fucking fucks with you. You know, like, you know, it's really easy to maintain anonymity and respect and just like whatever. And if I talk that day, I obviously, you know, but like writing it on a keyboard and then seeing everybody else like, yo, this is mad flashy. I'm not really liking this at all. Like, you know, I can't hide in the room. You know what I mean? Like, it's like whatever the hell. I can't just listen. But you know, I go to every day. I sponsor a few cats. I try to, like, you know, at night, you know what I mean? Like, I think about what I'm grateful for, a lot of stuff that's really, like, you know, that's really important. I think everybody should, you know, AA is a lot of stuff that I think people should just do real life. Like, I think people actually do some variants of it, you know, like if I were to tell you, like, yo, take an hour out of your day and just think about your life, or think about the decisions you've made, or think about things you can make better. You know, for some people that's yoga. For some people that's prayer. For some people it's the gym. For some people it's fighting. You know what I mean? Going to the gym and boxing. You know what I mean? For me, you know, it's a combination of different things. Like, you know, it's running. You know, I spend a lot of time just thinking about shit. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like, Like I look at my life, like as crazy as it sounds, like, you know what I mean? When you talk about like, you know, my career, just like, yeah, man, I've been lucky. I was a heavy hitter for a minute, but like, I can't remember a time I was ever happy there, man. Like I can't
really?
I'm not even fucking with you. Like, you know, I can think of a few times, you know, a few days where I was like, all right, that was cool, man. That was dope. But like to actually, you know, and I think it's hard for people to think about where it's just like, yo, think about a day or don't think about a day. Think about a period in your time, period in your life where you were happy. Not a day where it's just like, yo, like that year, that month, you know what I mean? Like that time in my life, I remembered like, yo, there was happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I could maybe think before booze became a problem, you know what I mean? When my son was born, you know, my son was sick for a bit. So when he got out of the hospital, like there was so much relief. You know, I remember that. You know, I remember, you know, my daughter, you know what I mean, graduating high school, you know what I mean? I was like, oh man, like, you know what I mean? I got to see that, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, you know, but like, it's hard that, you know, but none of it ever has to do with like business. Like, you know what I mean? I remember the first day I remember the day I opened up my first bar. I didn't get to enjoy it, man. I was busy fucking up. I mean, fucking at 7 a.m, rushing to get it open, not having enough money, trying to get a check from an investor. You know, so I could buy all this shit so we could open that night. And then I worked 12 hours and then I had to do it all over again. So that whole time I was like, you know, something I wish I could have enjoyed. You know what I mean? I remember I was like, yeah, that sucked. That didn't stop for the next 7-8 months. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what place was this?
Oh, Painkiller.
So I already know the story. I would love if you would share your experience with a certain rum brand and how it all went down. Is that, listen, Giuseppe, you know, like whatever sort of honorific Gene gave you a minute ago, and you're shy about it, you want nothing to do with it, doesn't mean that it's not true in everybody else's head, right? And there are so many things about Giuseppe Gonzalez that I think are fucking dope. And the Trinidad Sour, or sobriety, or having several different bars that you owned in New York and winning awards from John Taffer, like 10 years in a row or something like that? Like every
That was hurtful.
Right. Getting nominated Tales, you know, those are huge accomplishments in, you know, in business life, right? But here's the thing though too, is there's still the stories that come along with it are
look,
like
he's physically leaving the conversation.
He's done. They only happen.
My coffee. What the hell?
They only happen to you, Giuseppe. They don't happen to anybody else. And I think that's one of, you know, so that's one of the cool things about being Giuseppe. So like you gotta share it. You gotta at least tell us.
You know, my favorite thing is just like I won a Tales Award so long ago that people can't even remember. Like they were giving out awards back then. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's like, all right, I bet. Like when Neck won an award, I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? Good for you. And then like 2 years later, he was like, yo, man, you ever gonna win one? He's like, I already won one. 2010. I got that shit. It was like it was the second or third time Tales won an award. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that shit. Oh, but I couldn't fucking accept it because fucking I already got kicked out of Painkiller from my partner. So it was like some fucking shit. I remember winning that shit. It was cool.
Giuseppe, I'm also getting coffee too. I want you to know this pot is from this morning, and so it's still hot.
That's how I roll. This lasts me all fucking day.
Boom. There you go.
You had a question. I forgot.
No, you didn't. You remember what the question is.
Yeah, we had a question. Motherfucker, you let us relax. Man. We're just conversational here. We're just talking, and you over there brushing shit. Huh?
So is this about me fucking getting sued? You want to hear the story?
We do now.
Yeah.
Of course we want to hear you better.
All right. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I had to put my phone in a weird place because I'm trying to get myself some tea.
Giuseppe, do you need some guitar music while you're getting your tea ready?
Really want. Let me see. All right. So
I opened up my first bar in 2010. It was called Painkillers on the Lower East Side. Long story short, Sasha used to own a bar called East Side Company Bar. And he was dealing with bullshit from his partners. And he was already trying to open up Little Branch, and he had Milk and Honey. So, like, this bar and the partners just didn't work with him. He was like, fuck it. Like, I need to sell it. So I took it over with a guy named Richard Boccato.
Ricky.
Fuck that nigga. Anyway, long story short, like, you know, we called the bar Painkiller. And there were two reasons why the name was a problem. Well, main reason at the time had nothing to do with Pusters. It had to do with the fact with New York State, you can't name your business after anything violent. So, like, having the word killer, you know, in there was a problem with, like, you doing a DBA.
Right.
So we just called it PK. But everybody called it Painkiller, and we had a painkiller on our menu. So all of a sudden, fucking Pusters sends us a cease and desist saying, like, yo, you can't call it a painkiller unless it's using Pusters rum. And I remember reading this shit, like, yeah, like, you know, like, I don't want to say typical New York attitude. It was more like fucking, like, hood attitude. Like, if you're, you know, like, Gene knows what I'm talking about. So it's like, yeah, all right. Okay. You're cute.
I also know what you're talking about.
All right.
I can also relate.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
No,
yeah,
okay.
like,
So, well, let me just tell you this.
but you definitely can. Where it's like, you
Let me
know,
just-
like a guy says something, you're like, all right, we're gonna fuck. Like, you're full of shit. Like, okay, cool. And you just do whatever the fuck you're gonna do anyway. So I kept on. I didn't change anything. I told them. I said nothing. And they made a choice. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They talked to their PR department, but they fucking told a reporter about what they were doing. Or somehow it got in the media. We're just like, all right, bet, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, they can't call it painkiller, blah, blah, thinking that I'm going to sound gassed right now. And I know I'm going to sound gassed, and I'm sorry. But it's like one of those things, like, they thought like some bitch. You know what I mean? They thought I was just anybody. You know, they thought they could fuck. They thought I was gonna give them a pass.
Right.
I've been in. This is true for any kind of profession where, like, you may or may not be the minority. Where you are the minority, you know what I mean. You know that once you're in the room, you know what I mean. Ain't nobody taking me out of the room. You know what I mean. Fuck your seat at the table. I don't want a new table. I got my spot. You're not fucking taking it. You know what I mean. I'm gonna take your spot. So this motherfucker thought, like, oh god, like, they, you know. They thought they were gonna fucking just push this little spig bartender or whatever the hell from New York and, like, whatever the hell. And I basically said, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told them to go fuck themselves. Then they got more aggressive with their lawyers, and they were gonna muscle. So basically, like, when you catch when you catch, like, you know, escalating series of, like, fucking, they go from cease and desist to, like, all right, bet, we're gonna go to court. It's gonna cost you $50,000-$60,000. And then, like, every fucking, then I guess we went viral. I don't even know. Could you go viral back in 2010, bro?
I think you could.
Because every bartender basically just put a painkiller on their shit and basically pointed out to not wait with Pusters rum, go fuck themselves. And they realized they poked a bear they didn't want. They realized, just like, you know, the relationship with brands and bartenders, like, you know, why would a brand sue a bartender? That was like that was the first. That's like I guess that's the first thing. Like, you know what I mean? I accomplished where just, like, a brand literally went out of their way and got their legal department to fucking sue a motherfucker. And they thought, you know, that was cool.
So they didn't sue you over the name of the establishment. They sued you over the drink on the menu.
Because, like, you know, my DBA was already PK. Everybody called it painkiller.
Yeah.
You know, it was a New York State thing. We're just like, all right, your liquor license. It's like, all right, this is a rule everybody has to follow. I got to respect that. I understand. You know what I mean? This is not me. This is not them singling me out. This is me. All right, these are the rules. I got to respect it. You know, it's just more like, now they're telling me what I got to put on the fucking menu. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, fuck no. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a precedent. You know, that's not a precedent I think bartenders want. And it's definitely one I don't think brands want. You know what I mean? Because just like, all right, bet if a brand could own a cocktail like that, you know what I mean? How do the other brands remain competitive? You know what I mean? Right. Like, you know, does Absolute fucking have if Absolute were to have a trademark on the Cosmopolitan, I think that would hurt Absolute more than it would, like, you know what I mean, anyone else, because people would just fucking out of spite You know what I'm saying? Like it just creates like like this negative connotation with the brand.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know what I mean. I got kicked out of Painkiller through my partners. This is like one of the beefs. But long story short, fucking whatchamacallit. They end up playing nice. Like I don't know. Like this is all. This is all hypothesis. I'm just like, money changed hands. I don't know. People started playing real nice. You know what I mean? And just like, all right, bet. But even now, like they've tried doing that with a few friends of mine. You know what I mean? Like cats that are like fucking hard operators. You know what I mean? Like they tried doing that on my boy JJ Goodman, who owns London Cocktail Club in London. And this guy owns like 4 or 5 bars. He's a great operator. He's fucking brilliant. He's hilarious. But he's also like not the one. Like, like that kid is not the one. He's like, oh, don't fucking make me flex on you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Pussers doesn't pay my bills.
Right.
Plus, it's a shit rum, bro. Like, I mean, like, you fucking telling me something you need to add 5 ounces of fucking pineapple juice and coconut and 3 ounces of coconut and then OJ and then you got sprinkled nutmeg on it, that you're really fucking profiling the amazingness of their rum? Like, nah, man, you're trying to hide the shit that you fucking make with a whole bunch of sugar and aromatics because your shit's garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the opinions of Giuseppe.
I might get to it. It'll be great. It'll be interesting. It's like they're gonna come finish the job. Or I'm like, all right, bet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love the drink. I love the drink because one, it's a provocative name. It kind of embodies, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, all right, like what people like, to me, like the drink was always cool, but like, the brand the brand was not the reason I love that drink. You know what I mean? I never had a painkiller and thought to myself like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Especially being the Puerto Rican kid. Just like, oh my God, this pina colada variation is better than my national drink. Puerto Rico should just give up. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? If you drink a painkiller, it's a much better cocktail. We're much better.
Oh, for goodness gracious.
Anyway.
Hey, how did you meet Dev? My boy, Dev. My brother, Dev.
To be honest with you, when you have homies you've been friends with for so long, you don't remember?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And Dev have been boys since, I want to say 2007, 2008.
That's a long time.
I was actually friends with Stevie when I opened up Painkiller because Stevie was dating one of my cocktail waitresses. And I met him. And I remember Igor telling me, like, yo, this is my son. And I know, Igor is like one of those guys where it's like, all right, bet. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's either true or it ain't.
He could be 30. He could be 70. You don't fucking know what But Dev, like in all the EO guys, like, you know what I mean? Like Dev and Stevie are probably the ones I'm closest with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I still talk to both of them every day. But nah, man, like, like it's just like I remember liking the EO guys a lot more than I like the industry cats, primarily because back then, like, people remember EO as being the bar. People now think EO is like the bar that wins all the awards and has the world fame. Back then, they got straight hated on, bro.
Really?
Hated on.
For what?
People back when they first opened, like, people fucking hated on them. They were free pouring, so the nerds fucking weren't vibing with them. They were fucking around with classic recipes. They called themselves a speakeasy, but they had a tarot thing, so like all the nerds would sit down and be like, "Oh my God, it's too loud. The music is too current." You know what I mean? There are too many hot girls in here. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I just fucking loved it. They had a kitchen, like, you know what I mean? Like they had like, it sounds crazy, but just like cocktail bars back then for some reason didn't have any kind of food program. So like if you wanted to fucking have a good drink and eat dinner, which 99% of us always want to do after shift, you know what I mean? Like, like where did you go? You either went to a diner or you made a ton of bad decisions at EO until 4 or 5 in the morning, and that was that.
Hey, and what do you get if you're there? If you're at 4 or 5 in the morning, what do you get at EO?
Oh fuck! I
That's
don't
a
want
chicken noodle soup.
oh, talking about the soup. I was still thinking about something else, man.
I bet you was. I bet you was, man.
But I mean, like one of the things I liked about those guys too is just like one of those things where just like breaking rules, and they were not. They were saying fuck you to cocktail culture. You know what I mean? They were, which was funny because they would also, Deshaun and those guys would play nice with them. Like in
And the public, they would be like, all right, bet, we're going to play this role. But then when you met in real life, it's just like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like I need to focus more on like executing drinks quick. I need to be able to handle, multiple payments, guest speed, like, all the things that we know is like how you keep your job and stay in business. You know what I mean? Like I've never fucking had a bartender work for me. I've never worked for a boss, you know what I mean, that fucking was really like, they'll give you kudos, just like, oh, that was a good article or whatever the hell you talked about. You know what I mean? But they're looking at what you're bringing in every fucking night. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, yo, if you're like that slowpoke bartender who's bringing in 1,000 a night, and I got the motherfucker out there who doesn't read a fucking book, who doesn't give a fuck about people, you know what I mean? Who doesn't give a fuck about the industry, but they're bringing in $8,000-9,000 a night. They're gonna keep their job, bro. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, people say vodka pays the bills. I'm like, nah, man, bartenders pay the bills. Don't get it fucking twisted. Don't make it about the brand or the fucking genre. You fucking stupid.
Hey, how did you fall in love with jogging?
Bills, motherfucker. Anyway,
how'd you fall in love with jogging? Because that's all you do is just.
First off, it's not called jogging. Okay, jogging is something old people do. All right.
Okay,
Gene, you sound so square right now, bro.
I'm gonna say it again then. How did you fall in love with jogging, you old motherfucker? You.
You're so hurtful. You're both hurtful.
Oh,
I am like a year older than you, and I'm like 2 years old, like 3 years older than you. It's not like there's this big age difference.
And there goes the youth. My youth is gone.
Yeah, but I don't say jogging.
What do you say?
All right, the real talk behind
Ambling.
Give me 1 second. So you want to got some shit? You want secret Giuseppe Gonzalez shit?
Yes.
Sure. All my coffee with a special unicorn spoon that my niece gave me. And for some reason, if I don't fucking stir my fucking coffee or my tea with this fucking spoon, this shit tastes horrible. I'm like, yeah, I fucked it up. I should have used a different spoon. There's a fucking level of crazy that gets involved when you're so, like, when you start fucking ritualizing shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. What is he looking at? What the fuck?
I have no idea what he's looking at. Probably looking at his, junk. He does that all the time.
I was writing down that I love unicorns.
All right, real talk with the running. When I first started running, it wasn't even I was trying to run. I just gotten sober. I was trying to get sober. Let me correct myself. If you remember me, I used to be 300 pounds. I wasn't really a model of health. And the running had nothing to do with health. Basically, I would go from, like, I didn't know how to fucking stay sober. The only time I knew I could stay sober was if I was in an AA meeting. That was it. I was just like, free. So, like, I knew if I made it to a meeting, I was going to be sober for 1 hour. 1 hour, I was not going to be drinking. So when I first fucking started getting sober, I fucking figured out a scam. Like, I knew in New York, there were meetings that started at 6 in the morning, and there's one every hour all around the city for 24 hours, almost 24 hours. And all I did was walk from meeting to meeting all day for like maybe 2-3 months.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That was basically like, bro, like, it was like I was so desperate. I was in so much pain. I was so miserable. I was just like, I will do anything to just stop drinking. Like I didn't, and the worst thing is just like, I never felt I still don't. Like, when I'm working behind the bar, I never feel the need to drink. The worst part is when you're by yourself and you have nothing to do, especially now during quarantine. I still have a lot of homies who are struggling right now. You know what I mean? Like, the weird thing is, if they were at work near to alcohol, they would less likely want to drink. Like, it's like, you need to be able to, like, be comfortable in yourself. It's what's in here, man. Like, what's in here wasn't working. So, like, it was cheap sobriety. Like, it was nothing like complex I was doing. I left from one meeting from like, let's say I made a fucking 6 o'clock meeting, and I lived in the Lower East Side. The meeting was on 53rd and 53rd and Lexington, which is Midtown. I would walk 53 blocks.
How long would that take you?
That was an hour. That was an hour walking to the meeting.
Fuck.
I would go, and then I'd be like, all right, next meeting is in the West Village. That's at 12 o'clock. All right, cool. Let me walk down there. So I would literally walk down. I would walk back 53 blocks and then go west.
So that would be another hour. And I would do this. I would do this until like maybe like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And then by the time I would get home, I was so physically tired, I would just fall asleep because I couldn't fucking sleep either. Like, I was going through withdrawal. I was to fucking being up until 4 or 5 in the morning. So I had to physically exhaust myself. I had to mentally exhaust myself. I had to like get my body back on a clock. Like, and eventually, like, I started losing weight. And then my sponsor at the time was like, all right, bet, like, like you should, pick up like, some kind of like activity outside of the meetings. Cause like, this isn't sustainable. You know what I mean? You can't do this for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? This is not going to work, bro. This is not.
And in Giuseppe's head, it was, yeah, I can.
It was part of me like, all right, bet eventually like it'll work. And it just like, 2-3 months in, I was like, all right, bet, let me try running. Or let me just try going. Like, I know I can walk all day. Like, I didn't have any kind of meter, but I was walking at least 20-30 miles a day. I was like, I could fucking try running, you know what I mean? And then of course, like, this is like, going back to how Adam just said, you know what I mean? I got competitive, or just like, I would see people run and I'm like, yo, man, like, there's no reason I can't do that. Like, this is like every fucking human being on the planet can run. Why can't I run? Like, I would see fat people out there fucking hustling, you know what I mean? Trying their hardest. And I'm like, yo, that guy is out there fucking trying, you know what I mean? Like, this guy is taking control and I want that, I wouldn't see, like, I didn't see some kind of fucking athlete. I didn't see I didn't see Usain Bolt and think to myself, I want to be like Usain Bolt. I would see like somebody who was like overweight going out there, putting on their shoes, running. And I'm like, oh man, that guy is out there. That girl is out there fucking hustling right now. And I can't, I need to I want to be like them. You know what I mean? Like, if they can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off as like, maybe like a couple miles a day. I'd listen to fucking music. And eventually I just took off the music and I would just fucking be in my mind. And it was like, for me, like running is like, when I run, I don't listen to music. Like, you know what I mean? When I run, it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm either listening to a podcast because I like people talking to me. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna read a book. Let me put on a podcast and go, or Audible, or I'm in my head and I'm managing whatever fucking problem, whatever fucking stress, whatever anxiety I'm fucking doing that day, Like, I think I had a situation a few weeks ago with a bartender in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I don't even want to say. I didn't want to mention that beef. Like, I don't want to say his name or anything because, like, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, this person just
Sam.
Reminds me. The way this person was behaving reminded me a lot of myself on how I would respond. You know what I mean? When I was drinking. So it's just like, all right, bet. Like, it kind of like broke my heart a little bit. But there was also a part of me where just like, I would immediately feel anger. And I literally went for a run. And I'm like, I'm going to give this kid a pass. You know what I mean? Because this is not where I need to devote my energy. This is not worth it. You know what I mean? I'm 43 years old. I'm not fucking 15 years old. If somebody calls you a pussy, you need to fight him.
You know what's so funny? So this is the same guy that I'm telling that I got some heat going on. He's like, yeah, I'm here for the bullshit. I'm like, you over there being peacemaker, but when I'm telling you somebody, he's like, nah, get at him. Fuck him. Mm-hmm. You are a jackass. He tells me that shit all the time. Get him. Then when I tell him I'm backing down, like, you know what? I back down. I'm not doing that. That's not the right thing to do. B, should have got him. Giuseppe will always tell me, you should have got him.
Oh, I'm petty, bro. I'm petty.
He's supportive.
Us. His pettiness is vicariously through us, though. That's what I'm saying. Not with him.
Real talk, like, you know what I mean? Like, if this were a situation where it's like this person's in front of me and they're being aggressive, then I'm going to be like, all right, I guess we're going to do this. But if it's a situation over fucking social media and this fucking person is fucking doing something, I'm like, yo, man, like, yo, like, I feel like, like, have you seen that Tekashi 6ix9ine rant?
Hey, man, hey, that's a quick question.
This $500,000 watch, you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad. You know what I mean? There's a part of me where it's just like, yo, man, like, when you get 22 years, you can be mad at me. You know what I mean? And I'll fucking pay attention to you. Now, young buck, like, just be angry.
But they're sensitive people, G. They're sensitive people. Like when I was bartending with Adam and a couple other cats, we were not. I mean, we was pretty sharp with the tongue. Like, Adam will eviscerate you with some really intelligent shit that don't blow up for about 2 hours until your shift is over. And then you get to saying, did he just call me stupid like my mother? Oh, okay. So the next day you got beef with Adam, but he's forgot all about that shit. See, he was real cerebral. And me, I was just a juggernaut goon. I was just attacking him. And Jose would probably say something, hey, I'm from New York and I blah, blah, goobla, goobla, kabogool, kabogool. But, you know, other than that, kids are sensitive these days. People are just, they can't. I tell everybody that becomes a bartender, hey, get your skin up because it's a thick skin game. You ain't got thick skin, you might want to go to the other side of the bar because this is not a joke. Like, I've seen Adam make girls cry.
It's
hey, hey, no, come on. Nah, that was.
You said she smelled like a gypsy. So.
You're making me look bad. I don't do that kind of thing.
Anymore.
I just coughed my cigarette. Let me go inside.
You said she smelled like a
I
gypsy.
do think that there are things like, you know what I mean? Just like things about, like, I would say, like, restaurant culture that are fucking toxic. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like, yo, that doesn't need to be handled that way, you know? Or like, I think the most important thing, like right now, I fucking see is like when a fucking cat like is like, yo, I work 60 hours a week, you know, I'm busting my ass, and there's a part of me where just like they wear it as a badge of honor, and I would be like, yo, like if somebody told me just like, yo, man, like I slept fucking 14 hours and I didn't do shit, I'd be like, yo, that's dope, bro. That is fucking, you killed it. like, yo, last week I went to fucking sleep at 10. I woke up. I did this every fucking day. I went to the gym. You know what I mean? I hung out with my kids. I fucking was crushing. Like, you know, we never have conversations. Like, well, we do because we're fucking dope. We're old men, you know, but when you see the young bucks, you know what I mean? Like it's like, yo, they're trying to like, and I know it because I used to do it. You know what I mean? And be like, all right, bet. Like, yo, I'm here 7 days a week, man. You can't fucking bitch at me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you? You're complaining that the ice machine is broke? Shut the fuck up, man. Ice machine broke on Monday. You know, like it's been broke the last 3 days, man. I've been here. All right?
Hey.
I figured it out. You figure it out. Stop being a bitch.
Ask your bar back over there. Ask Cole. He used to tell me, you know how they used to make crushed ice at Golden Tiki, was take double garbage bags and fill it with regular ice, and Cole would have to go and smack it on the ground, and that's how they made crushed ice. And don't forget, 8 of their cocktails got crushed ice in it.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's not coronavirus. Okay, like that's Jesus Christ.
Like, are you guys on welfare? Like, yo, get a nice crusher, bro. Like,
he
said,
bro,
you're making money.
He said, bro, look, you know how long I did that for? I said, after the first go, man, it was way too long. So it doesn't matter what you say. As soon as you crush the first one,
right.
Huh?
Like whatever you didn't do it right. So stop being a bitch and do it right.
Full disclosure, they no longer do that.
Thank fucking God.
Okay.
All right, before we get off, because I can't keep your attention longer than another 7 minutes. I know you and me and Adam both got things to do. Before you sign off, if you want to tell a younger you something, what would you say to your younger self? Because not to everybody out there, because I know what you would say to a young bartender, because you've already fucking said it. So what would you have told yourself a little ways ago?
You know, I think about this, like, I think about it a lot sometimes, where just like, especially like where I'm at now in life and I know what I've accomplished. You know what I mean? I don't like talking about it, but I know that like what I've had to sacrifice. There's a part of me, like, you know, I always feel like no matter what would have happened, I always would have ended a bartender. Like there was no other path for me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my father, my grandfather, you know what I mean? Even my daughter, you know what I mean, is in this business kind of now, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, it's kind of, so like going another path was never like really an option. And I worked hard, but like, you know, I also lost a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like I wish, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how I could tell young me to not drink.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I don't know how, I don't know, like, I know that like nobody could tell me anything. You know what I mean? Like nobody. My mother can't tell me what to fucking do. You know what I mean?
So if you don't tell young you not to drink,
that's the only thing I would tell you. I could tell, like, I'm like, yo, Poppy, if you don't drink, you're gonna have the world by the balls. You know what I mean? Yep. You will grab the world by the balls. Like you will reach this level of success while you drink. You know what I mean? You will reach this. But if you don't drink, You know what I mean? You're playing a different game, you know, like, but there's no way I would have fucking listened to me. I mean, like, yeah, whatever, but this is more fun, and the girls are hot, and the drugs are great, and this is part of the culture. This is what I need to do. Like, there's no fucking way I could reason, be like, yo, you don't have to do that shit, man. Like, you don't have to be around that. You know, like, there are other ways to accomplish all the things you want to, like I've just,
so instead of telling your younger self what not to do, what would you tell your younger self to do?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't think I'm like, I always think to myself, what would I have done different? You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's not like I don't know what my mistakes are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think to myself, like, also, if I didn't make that mistake, I wouldn't have gotten here. Like, you know what I mean? I would, like, you know, like like, how do you tell somebody, you know what I mean, to believe in themselves? You know what I mean? Like, I know that, like, one of the main reasons I used to drink was because I had, like, you know, and I still do, you know what I mean? Big social anxiety. You know what I mean? I never really could be in a room with a lot of people unless I felt, you know, a little bit more relaxed. I never really fucking could connect with people unless I fucking, and not real connections, but like, couldn't have a conversation unless I fucking was drinking, and I felt like, all right, bet, you know, like I felt like, you know, the alcohol became my armor, and I didn't know how to take it off.
Wow.
You know? And I wish I had other things that could have been my armor. You know what I mean? Things that would have helped me, you know what I mean, be comfortable in these settings and these people, and start seeing the bullshit for what it is. You know?
So you had to go through that whole process. It had to happen for you to be where you are now.
Yeah, and as crazy as it sounds, you know what I mean? Like, you know, one of the biggest reasons I got sober was my mother having a conversation with me. You know, the day I got, on my last day I ever drank, my mother had a conversation with me on my birthday, and she told me something that, like, always stuck with me, where she was like,
Adam, stop.
I don't know what. All right, well, freaking, like, literally, long story short, like, I thought, like, I couldn't get sober. Like, I was just like, this is hopeless. This is my life, you know, and I'm gonna die. This is how I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? And my mom called me. It was my birthday. It was my 38th birthday. You know, I'm in the middle of doing something really stupid, and she's like, Joey, what's wrong? And I just told her, I don't think I can do this anymore, Ma. You know, and this is my mother calling me on my birthday. She calls me at 10:30 in the morning every fucking day, every fucking year, and she could hear it in my voice that there was just something broken. You know what I mean? Like, you know, your mother knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they just know. And she was like, Joey, it's your 38th birthday. Your father died when he was 38. Your grandfather got sober when he was 38. And I fucking stopped, and I stopped feeling sad, and I just literally just went to my mother, like, Ma, you're full of shit. Like, literally, I just told her, you're full of shit. You're lying. You can't even remember where you left the keys to the house. You know what I mean? How do you remember, you know what I mean, the day the old man got fucking sober? And she was like, Joey, he fucking stopped drinking the day you were born. He was 38 years old. He made me that promise. He never drank again. And literally, and even now when I tell that story, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, it's so powerful because it was like the one thing which, like, I felt hope. You know, I felt like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I can do this. It's possible. Like, you know, if he can do it, you know, I could be the man I never wanted to be, which was my dad, or I could be the man I always wanted to be, which is my grandfather. So, like, maybe if I were to say one thing to younger me, I'd tell him that story. But of course, young me would be like, all right, cool, I got until 38, bet. It's going to happen anyway. Like, I would have found a way out. I would have fucked it up. I would have found a way to fuck it up. I would have bought a ton of blow and fucking did something stupid. Why can't I see Gene's picture? What the fuck, man?
Because my wife is awful. She's over here coughing and hacking in the garage and shit. So I kicked her out.
I didn't even hear her.
Gene,
Man.
take some responsibility. Stop blaming everything on your wife, all right? She's a beautiful person. She's wonderful. And you need to treat her a little bit better than that.
You don't deserve.
Did I ever tell you about the time where Adam tried to have sex with my wife?
Did that really happen?
I made a long
I gotta go.
So let me tell you how it went down. I was barbecuing for another jerk off friend of ours, Matthias Simone, is super jerk off. So I decided.
Hey guys, can I come over to your house?
Matthias Matthias wanted to chill out with some real homies, right? He goes, I want to chill with some real
Fever
homies.
right now.
He,
And the
he
Rock.
goes, I want to chill with some real homies, just family. I said, all right, then I'm gonna put a little barbecue together, and we'll just chop it up. Just come over. I'll just invite Joe P and Adam, and we'll just chop with the family, meet my kids and shit. He's like, bet. So I'm barbecuing. I mean, I'm up all night, because the homies is coming over. Adam's coming. I think Jose was coming. Joe P was coming. My wife's there, so she's chilling. I'm slaving. So I'm calling him, hey, dinner be ready at this time. Nothing. Texting him, nothing. Texting him, nothing. Dinner's on, nothing. So Joe P shows up. Adam shows up. And as soon as Adam gets to the house, he asks, hey, where's your wife? And he takes his shirt off, and he just darts upstairs like one of those old 1950s movies. Just little nipples hanging, and he goes up the stairs looking for my wife. I said, what are you doing? I just wanted to see your wife. I said, well, why are you your shirt off? I mean, he just pasty and pink nipples everywhere. Just albino peach. That's what he was. Ready to deload my wife. So she wasn't home, and another friend comes over, and he's eating. Goes, yeah, this is good. And then this big opposing black dude, he goes, where's your old lady? I'm like, why are you asking where my old lady is while you sucking on the rib bone? I just want to see her. And so him and Adam are just now basically hunting through the house to look for my wife to give her the good and plenty. And I'll never forget that you tried to do that.
Honestly, silence is agreement. Like, I'm just like, he's not lying. You're a piece of shit.
Okay, so he's not lying for most of it.
Your ginger ass is not your wife's type. I'm just saying. I don't think you're her type.
Gene did cook food, and I did go over to his house. So that part of the story is correct.
Did you take your shirt off?
It was hot.
Did you ask?
It was
like
100. Yeah.
Did you go upstairs looking for said wife?
No.
What'd you go upstairs for?
I'd never been to your house. I just wanted to, check it out. That's all. Here's the thing: is I wanted to know where your wife was because I didn't want to take off. I didn't want to embarrass her by taking my shirt off. So I was like, I want to make sure that I was respectful. I was trying to avoid her. That's the thing is it was exact opposite of whatever you were saying. I was trying to make sure that I did not encounter her. So if she was upstairs, I wasn't going to go upstairs.
This is really awkward, and I've never.
It's the truth.
Any girl like or child. I'm not letting you the children or women I date.
Yeah, because he'll tell your child that you're going to disappoint him. You're going to look at your kid in the eye, so your dad's going to let you down.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's actually not because when my son was in town, he actually crashed at Adam's house because him and Owen were fucking just like the two big nerds playing video games. Like, they didn't go outside. They didn't fucking they didn't try to break shit. They were like, no, video games and talk shit all night. I was like, oh wow, these kids, man, like they weren't trying to be thugs or something. Like, what the hell, man? Why weren't they trying to be cool? Shit. No.
That's how they were being cool, man.
Me and Giuseppe were that age, we were trying to get it.
I was fucking trying to destroy shit. I was like, oh, bet. I'm about to destroy public property. It's going to be cool.
Oh, yeah. Top of the list.
Yep.
Whatever. Well, listen,
Giuseppe.
On that note, everybody, thank you very much. Nice round of applause for Giuseppe, Joey, Jose, Villarreal, Espanol, Gonzalez. Está bien. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bailar.
Hang up now.
Giuseppe, take us out with where people can find you when things are normal, and how if people do want to chit chat and they want to talk to you about real life things, where can they find you?
If you want to talk about real life things, you never go to my job because that's not what that's gonna happen. I work at Mott 32 at the Venetian. Shout out to fucking Sheldon Adelson for fucking holding it down, kid. Fucking still paying a homie during fucking this time. That shit is dope. Dude, I love this shit, man. Like, yo. Real talk, I work at Mott 32 at the Venetian. It's fucking great. I can't wait to go back to work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's not like I don't want to say I miss work. but I do miss the people, and I miss the fucking you know what I mean, man. It's
Yeah.
like we're soldiers, you know what I mean, and I want to fight this. I want to get back in the war again, you know what I mean. It's like we're saying we may or may not open in June. I'm not sure, but like that date, like nobody really knows, you know what I mean. So
Do you think we can get you back on sometime?
yeah, man, shit, fucking whatchamacallit. Not for a few months though. I don't want to make this like a regular thing.
I don't want this to
No.
make this a regular thing with you either. We don't want to be that close. The closer we get, the further you'll push us apart. We know that.
Yo, and by the way,
Yeah.
my weekend.
What?
Am I getting my beef ribs this weekend?
You're getting your beef ribs this weekend, sir.
My man. Fucking. What are you looking at? You don't order ribs from Gene?
He doesn't eat meat. He's a vegan.
Fuck out of here, ribs. Did he swim?
I didn't even know Gene was making ribs.
You
I didn't know
what?
he did that.
You're doing a horrible job with this Slab Saturdays. You got a hashtag, nobody fucking knows about it. And then you make me feel bad because I'm not 100% sure you don't do this every Saturday.
What's funny, you asked if I do this every Saturday, and I told you every Saturday I delivered food that I was doing it every Saturday. You hadn't re-hashtagged it or shared it because people live on your every word. So yeah, I am probably doing a really shitty job at barbecue.
All right. First off, I love the guilt trip. Good dad work. All right. That may ends. All right. It's like, okay. You know, you can work that on baby. You can work that on Gene Jr. I'm sure he's going to fucking deal. He's going to need therapy for that 20 years from now.
Right?
Fucking whatchamacallit. But yeah, beef ribs?
Yes, beef ribs.
All right, beautiful. Every Saturday, Gene Samuels makes ribs, and I have them delivered to me. This is my third time. Does anyone else ordered from you 3 times since you started doing this?
No.
No, right? So I order the most from you, and you're giving me shit?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's what real love is, man.
No, I get it. He's right. Right, I should.
100. Listen, enjoy
All right.
duty or Ghost Recon, whatever the fuck you're doing. Adam, take us out of here, dude.
This has been another episode of the Fabulous Swiggavino Brothers and Adam coming to you life in quarantine time. Giuseppe, Javier, Gonzalez, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your wisdom. We appreciate all your shit talking. Be good, be well. Gentlemen, hasta la vista. Or hasta luego, or like see you later, or whatever the.
Shut the fuck up!
Mad love,
God
fellas.
damn it. Fuck. See ya.
Are you fucking taking pictures of us? You fucking
Not on purpose. Oh, yeah. You don't like having your picture taken, and you don't like all of the attention. Yeah, I forgot.
Fuck, no. You got to give me a heads up. Pose.
I didn't know. Okay, well, I didn't know I was doing that.
Hey, Adam,
Now
can
that
you
I'm-
go ahead and intro this motherfucker so we can get this shit going, or you want to keep sucking his dick?
Around, my bad.